He executed the guy who ruined his life, but paid the price when he got gunned down with zero mercy. His body dropped into the dark. It was the end of the line. Until, out of nowhere, his eyes snap open in pure shock. He literally hacked his own death and traveled back in time, right back to when he was just some weak bullied kid, way before he lost his family. But this time around, he's rocking the most broken advantage ever. Absolute knowledge of the future. He's gonna steal some insane damage skills right at level 0, melt down untouchable bosses without letting them move an inch, and power level like crazy by getting a massive 1800% bonus XP. You wanna act like some arrogant rich kid around him? Get ready to be straight up deleted with a single kick. He's gonna turn the top players on the server into an absolute joke, commanding entire squads with crazy tactics nobody's ever seen before, moving around like an untouchable ghost, and completely humiliating elite monsters face to face. They took absolutely everything from him in his past life, but now he's the absolute legend who's gonna bring the entire world to its knees. Breaking the silence, a gunshot rings out. With a dead-set stare, our boy pulls the trigger without hesitating for a second. And his target, some big shot named Cao Shu, takes a direct hit and drops backward. The rich guy's guards completely freak out, just spraying bullets everywhere in retaliation. But their reaction time is way too fast, and our MC ends up catching a ton of lead. Bleeding out on the floor, he mocks Cao Shu, joking that the only fair thing in life is death, saying that all the money in the world isn't gonna bring the mob boss back. Barely hanging on, he whispers that he finally avenged his parents, mourning his own bitter fate. Reaching out toward a fading light, he straight up refuses to accept this kind of ending. His vision quickly goes black, while he keeps repeating that he won't give up. Then, our boy's body plunges into this pitch-black void, just pulsing with some weird energy, until the darkness completely fades, showing a familiar ceiling and a window. And his eyes just snap wide open in pure shock. He jumps out of bed, totally confused about what's going on. Clutching his chest, he seriously wonders how the hell he survived Cao Shu's goons. Looking around, he recognizes his old dorm room and realizes he might have just traveled back in time. Then, he spots a TV commercial hyping up the release of a new game called Conviction. Seeing that the game literally just dropped, it finally clicks, and he knows he actually went back. Jumping to his feet, the kid grabs a picture frame, confirming he's Yan. She just stares at the photo of his parents, who he lost in a super tragic way, remembering that around this time his family struck at rich trading metals with the government. Right as Dryad, his dad opened a refining company, and the cash just started rolling in. But their luck didn't last, and a really dark phase soon came back to haunt the three of them. He remembers how Cao Shu's gang sabotaged everything, which straight up led to his parents' deaths. Looking in the mirror, he admits all that luxury made him soft, leaving him with nothing but a suicidal revenge mission. But with this second chance in his hands, he swears to himself that he's never gonna lose anything ever again. He thinks about how Conviction totally changed the world and made guys like Cao Shu filthy rich. It was basically humanity's second world, and he used to be a level 180 thief in it. Checking his phone, he sees the game's only been live for 7 days, so he's still got plenty of time. Figuring the top global players are probably only level 7 right now, his memory advantage is insanely broken. Then he remembers his stash of cash, which is just enough to buy the most basic gaming helmet. Gripping his shirt in pure rage, the kid swears he's gonna make Cao Shu pay for ruining his life. Fully dressed, he confidently declares that things are gonna go way differently this time around. Night falls, and the light in his room is the only one still on in the entire building. Holding the helmet, he knows that even if he's a bit late to the party, this rebirth is taking him straight to the top. He throws on the VR gear without a second thought. A system screen instantly lights up, logging him right into Conviction, and the very first step is picking his starting zone on the map. The world is split up into light, dark, and neutral factions packed with these massive empires, where the Greenland Empire really stands out as a human nation run by elders. It also shows the Saturn Empire, which is this totally badass alliance of dwarves, orcs, and elves. On the flip side, the Dark faction is made up of terrifying demon and undead tribes. And for the chill players, there's the Neutral faction, which is basically run by giants. Since he used to be a shadow dancer thief, he sticks with the same class to keep his edge. The system instantly locks it in, setting his class to thief. It confirms he's spawning in Greenland and asks for his new avatar's name. Without missing a beat, he types in Nirvana Flame. With everything set, the system tells him the character creation was a success and starts the transfer. He pops up in a flash of light right at the teleport point in Carol City, deep inside Greenland. Looking down at his own hands, he feels the realness of this world and just smiles, knowing he's finally back. Pulling up the menu, he dumps 3 points into strength and 2 into agility, completely avoiding his past rookie mistake. Nearby, he spots the city's teleport teleporter which connects to a bunch of different villages in the area. A bit further ahead, some player is selling daggers for 2 copper coins, swearing it's an absolute steal. He just smirks, remembering that exact item only costs 1 coin in another town, so that old scam isn't gonna work on him. Walking past that, a paladin is loudly advertising a stealth skill book for 6 coins, trying to draw a crowd. Since everyone's complaining about how insane that price is, our boy decides to walk right up to the stall. He asks the guy for the price, but the seller won't budge and demands the full 6 coins. Since this skill is super important, he remembers a chest out in some unmapped zone that drops it for free. Playing it smart, he offers to take the book for free right now in exchange for a secret farming spot to get way more of them. But the seller thinks that's a total joke, calling him crazy and telling him to get lost. Telling the guy to chill, the kid straight up drops that he knows about the Murloc mage farming spot over in Link City, dropping the guy's jaw to the floor when he rattles off the exact coordinates to the hideout. The paladin starts thinking it over, totally blown away by a level 0 knowing all this, and actually starts believing him. Taking the deal, he tosses the book over to the kid, confident he can easily farm a bunch more. Sealing the deal, the seller, whose name is Flying Stone, finally gets the exact route to the Murloc camp. Super hyped, the guy rushes off while our MC tells him to save a perception skill book for him later. Promising to mail him any good drops, the paladin pops a scroll and straight up vanishes into thin air. Now that he's got stealth, his next move is hunting down that mystery chest. So he fast travels straight over to Tracktown, wasting 0 time. He pops the book and learns the skill that basically turns him invisible. Moving fast, he fades out of sight, totally wrapped up in this dark energy, becoming a straight-up invisible ghost running through the map. He speeds right out of the city, totally zigzagging his way across the path, charging headfirst into the forest, pushing forward without stopping for a second. Pretty soon, he enters the danger zone packed with wildcats. The whole place is just crawling with these level 2 to 5 beasts. Chilling on a tree branch, he spots the secret chest, fully guarded by a mob of level 5 monsters. He remembers that chests in this game range from white all the way up to legendary, dropping some seriously insane loot. Since chests disappear forever once they're looted, it's totally crazy luck to find a silver chest just sitting there out in the open. Even though he's super underleveled, he's totally chill about it, since dying at level 0 means 0 lost XP or dropped gear. Refreshing his stealth skill, the kid creeps forward into the brush. He sneaks through super carefully, dodging every single cat patrolling the area. Dropping down from a tree, he picks up the pace, since the skill only gives him exactly 2 minutes on the clock. Suddenly, Run to the Cats gets suspicious, its red eyes glowing right out of the dark. He dodges it at the very last second, knowing that even one slip-up means instant game over. He hops from branch to branch with crazy agility, making sure he stays totally undetected. Touching down super quietly, he stays locked in stealth mode. He finally makes it to the box and starts unlocking it, with his painfully slow progress bar popping up on his screen. Trying his best to stay calm, he's straight up sweating bullets, hoping his invisibility doesn't run out. From above, the beasts are sniffing all over the place, but they don't find a single thing, until the lock finally clicks, taking exactly 27 seconds of pure anxiety. He pulls out the loot with this huge cocky smile on his face. He holds the skill book up high, totally hyped about pulling this off. Reading the description, he realizes he scored a Vital Strike, which does a massive 150% extra damage. Getting a top-tier skill like this at level 0 is gonna make grinding so incredibly easy. He pops the book right then and there, absorbing the skill and feeling totally ready for action. But right as about to strange agitation, let's say, his invisibility wears off and the cats instantly spot him. In the blink of an eye, the entire horde of cats leaps at him, completely trapping him. Going down under a flurry of claws, he still flexes, thanking his fuzzy guards for the free loot. Knowing that dying in this game drops your XP and gear, he totally doesn't care, since he's literally only level 0. Right after that, the classic red game over screen just flashes across his vision, and another notification pops up saying he dropped his basic beginner gloves. It also tells him the system is already respawning his body at the nearest city. Popping up in a flash of blue light in the town square, the kid actually finds this free, fast travel super convenient. Completely dialed in, he decides it's time to kick off phase 2 of his leveling plan. Moving fast across the rooftops, he just leaves the massive city crowd down below. Since this next step takes some serious cash and he's flat broke, he remembers the secret quest in the area. Rolling up to Klaus the Hunter, he takes on a quest to farm 20 giant rat skulls. After that, he swings by Farmer End to pick up a kill quest for 50 of those exact same rats. Right then, all the pharmacist notices our boy and unlocks a third hidden quest in the chain. Knowing all about this little secret, he instantly accepts the request for 21 rat tails. Once he's out of the city, this massive monster's paw completely crushes the tall grass, revealing a level 1 giant rat, rocking exactly 53 hit points. Without even thinking twice, our boy leaps right into the air with his dagger drawn, landing a raw, vital strike. He chunks it for 21 damage and praises just how busted this skill is. With the beast totally dead, the system drops a skull and a tail straight into his inventory. But he gets a huge surprise when a golden light just randomly starts shining on the dirt. Turns out it's a tough leather legging, giving him an instant +4 to his defense. Checking out the item stats, our MC figures it'll easily fetch about 7 copper coins at the auction house. But right in the middle of his little brainstorming session, a whole pack of giant rats completely surrounds him. Not sweating it at all, he chains together another vital strike, hitting 2 of them right off the bat. Moving super fast and totally focused, he clears out the whole infestation in a flash. After a solid hour of hardcore grinding, the kid heads back to the village with his pockets completely loaded. Handing everything in, he scores 34 copper coins and 3 health potions. Super hyped about the profit, he lists the leggings on the auction house and heads straight for the weapon shop. He quickly makes his way over to the local blacksmith stall, where the merchant is just bragging about having the absolute best gear in the entire region. Cutting straight to the chase, he asks for a fast and hard-hitting level 0 crossbow, capping his budget at 40 coins. The guy offers him the small and powerful crossbow, which packs a triple shot for 35 coins. Locking in the deal, he also stocks up on 9 stacks of ammo for 44 coins. He walks away totally hyped with his new weapon, completely ignoring the merchant's generic goodbye. Now that his gear is sorted, he decides it's finally time to take on the wild buffaloes. Since the game heavily punishes you for fighting higher tier monsters, taking on a level 10 beast right now should be pure insanity. But with his future knowledge, he's basically guaranteed to solo the area boss even at level 0. He sneaks right into the infested plains, slipping through the rocky terrain like a ghost, carefully dropping down through this super narrow crack in a cliff nearby. He hits the exact coordinates from his memory and confirms this is the perfect spot for his plan. Looking down, he spots his target completely isolated right in the middle of this massive herd. It's a level 8 wild buffalo leader, rocking a solid 300 HP. Smirking, he realizes the cliff angle and his crossbow's range are just absolutely perfect here. He pulls the trigger right then and there, unloading 3 bolts at once straight into the beast. He only lands a single crit that literally does 1 damage, straight up proving how brutal the level gap is. Reloading his weapon without even blinking, he really feels the crazy weight of the game's penalty system. But he's not sweating it since he brought 9,000 bolts and is just gonna farm this boss by pure exhaustion. Keeping up an insane pace, he just keeps burying more ammo into the buffalo leader's thick hide. This totally enrages the creature, making it search for the shooter with crazy bloodshot eyes. And it doesn't take long for the beast to figure out where the shots are coming from, charging at him full speed. But the beast gets totally stuck on a terrain bug the kid knew about from his past life, making it completely useless. Taking full advantage of the trapped boss, our MC unloads his crossbow with absolutely zero mercy. Firing non-stop, his ammo stash drops from 8,000 down to just over 5,000 bolts. 3 hours later, the buffalo leader is just roaring in pure frustration, still completely stuck on the rock. Sweating bullets, the kid regrets blowing through almost 4,000 shots while this thing is somehow still standing. But he refuses to quit, keeping up the relentless bombardment and blasting the beast without holding back. Finally, after an absolute storm of shots dealing 1 damage each, the boss's HP hits 0 and it drops dead. With his target down, our MC jumps right into the gap to secure his incredibly precious loot. Racking up an insane 1,800% XP bonus, he shoots straight up to level 2. Super hyped, he sprints over to the glowing spot on the ground to see exactly what the monster dropped. He finds the bronze tier horn dagger, along with 5 hard-earned copper coins. Knowing gear like this has an insanely low 0.1% drop rate in the game, and bronze weapons pack an extra 20% damage, plus a bonus stat to top it off. Doing some quick math, he figures the dagger is easily worth around 3 silver coins on the market. Right then, his leggings sell for 8 copper, and Flying Stone the Paladin actually hits him up. Without even thinking twice, he answers the call. The seller is already calling him boss, super pumped about farming 2 stealth books from that spot. Playing it cool, our MC just asks for a perception skill book in return, and his new ally instantly agrees. Making up a quick excuse, he claims he deleted an old character just to start over as a thief. Then Flying Stone asks about the Murloc dungeon, since his whole squad literally just got wiped there. Cutting straight to it, the kid offers to sell a complete walkthrough of the place for 2 silver coins. Stoked about the opportunity, the paladin says he's gonna go convince his captain to pay up. After hanging up, he climbs out of the rocks totally focused on getting his new dagger appraised. He quickly makes his way back over to Track Town. Knowing the appraisal fee is 10 copper coins, he instantly figures out this dagger is worth some serious cash. He confidently hands over the cash to the NPC to finally reveal the item's hidden stats. The bronze weapon requires level 1, giving him plus 18 attack and an extra 5 strength. That extra strength bonus makes this weapon completely broken, basically perfect for just dominating the early game. Now that he's got his weapons and skills sorted out, he just needs a way to heal up during fights. Since he really gets how the game's economy works, he focuses on learning the combat bandage skill. Heading over to the pharmacy, he makes sure to cop 2 water-breathing potions right away. Inside, he pays the NPC and finally unlocks the first aid skill. Right after that, he rolls up near a village out by the massive Rando Lake area. Taking a shortcut through the zone, he spots some other players and stays super alert to avoid any drama. Seeing the village is completely packed with level 3 monsters, his game plan is to just sneak by using stealth. But right at that exact second, a system warning flashes across his screen. The Triumphant Guild announces they're clearing the map and straight up orders all solo players to get the hell out. He instantly recognizes the guild's name, leaving this super bitter taste in his mouth. Remembering how incredibly arrogant they used to be, he swears he's gonna take them down piece by piece. Without wasting a single second, he turns invisible so he doesn't draw any aggro, and sneaks his way right through the middle of the enemy camp, slipping right past the fish guards without leaving a single trace. But of course his skill runs out, and a fireball blasts him dead in the back. Taking 23 damage, the system logs an attack from a player named Purple Fire. The cocky mage tells him to get lost, but our MC recognizes the guild tag and totally decides to throw down. Knowing the secret to beating mages is sticking right to them, backing down doesn't even cross his mind. Reading the enemy's 2-second cast time, he sees the absolute perfect window to rush in. Hitting a massive leap, he slams a vital strike right into his target. Completely furious, the mage calls him a psycho, reminding him this whole zone is locked down by their guild. Then, he fires off a blazing ring of fire to literally blast the kid away. Eating 39 damage, our MC gets knocked way back, completely covered in flames. But he instantly chugs a health potion, getting 89 HP right back. Going in for another attack, he deals 36 damage, completely ignoring the mage's trash talk. Panicking, his rival screams at him to back off and tries to push him away with fire. But the kid easily dodges it and goes right back on the offensive. Thinking the thief is out of HP, Purple Fire preps another attack, completely sure he's won. And right as he fires off the spell, our MC dives to the ground to dodge it. With his dagger already in hand, he quickly sets up his counterattack, using Vital Strike one more time to close the gap on his target. The enemy is left in pure shock, having zero clue how the kid actually survived that hit. Right as he gets wiped out, he finally notices the potion buff, but can't figure out where the hell he got the cash for it. Smirking, our MC tells him to go look for those answers when he respawns back in town. Scooping up the bronze staff that dropped, he decides to get the hell out of there before the rest of the guild shows up. And sure enough, the rest of the enemy squad notices their teammate went down and immediately starts the hunt. Knowing this, the kid steps on the gas to try and shake the group. But right in the middle of his escape, a warrior yells out that he's not getting far, leaping right at him with this giant sword totally ready to strike, launching a heavy energy slash straight at our MC, only to be totally caught off guard by the kid's agility since he dodges it on pure reflex. Standing on the edge of the cliff, he chubs a water-breathing potion, leaving his enemy completely desperate. Seeing this go down, 2 other guild members rush him with everything they've got, trying to corner their target right on the ledge to trap him for good. But with a little smirk on his face, he just gets into position for the jump, and straight up dives into the lake without hesitating, escaping by the skin of his teeth, swimming deep down and leaving that squad of losers completely empty-handed. Back on the shore, they're just whining about not having any potions to chase after him. Pretty soon, the squad leader shows up furious, demanding to know about the kid who just got away, ordering her crew to interrogate the defeated mage so they can figure out the target's name. Down underwater, our MC hears his username echoing from above and swears he's gonna get his payback later. Now that he's out of trouble, he remembers there are treasure chests at the bottom of Rando Lake. Swimming just a bit further, he finds exactly what he was looking for, scoring a special pearl that gives him a free half hour of underwater breathing. But the second he grabs the item, a trident almost takes his head completely off. Looking around, he realizes he swam right into a massive nest of fishmen, knowing damn well he wouldn't stand a chance fighting these mobs underwater. With an alarm ringing out, a whole swarm of monsters gets ready to attack. Out of nowhere, this massive explosion goes off in the village right above their heads. Totally spooked, the monster swims straight for the surface, completely ignoring our boy. Laughing to himself, he thanks the guild for distracting the mob and clearing his path. Following the route, he finally reaches his ultimate destination, Heart Island. Stepping out of the water, he takes a deep breath, totally feeling that sense of mission accomplished. Right then, he hears a scream and catches this player named Yahello in serious trouble. Instantly remembering his old ally from his past life, he's totally mind-blown by the coincidence. Reliving those good memories, he starts thinking this might actually be fate. Back to the chaos, she spots him and instantly worries she's about to get targeted again. Wasting zero time, our MC leaps right over the mage to back her up, landing a perfect vital strike right on one of the aquatic monsters. At the exact same time, the girl casts her holy judgment on another creature nearby. Totally in sync, the two of them wipe out the threats in the blink of an eye. With the path clear, the mage sighs in relief and thanks him for the backup. Playing it cool, he says it was nothing and introduces himself as Nirvana Flame, and the girl just repeats his name under her breath, looking a bit deep in thought. Looking at him, the mage really wonders if this player is the Nian she used to know. Introducing herself as Yahello, she thanks him again and shoots over a friend request. Instantly accepting it, our MC asks what she's doing all the way out on this isolated island. Explaining her quest, she realizes they both have goals here, so he suggests they party up. Thinking that's a perfect idea, the mage offers him her silk threads as a way to say thanks. Opening the trade, our MC is pretty surprised when she hands over 12 silk threads all at once. Knowing how valuable they are, she says her life is worth way more than coins, so he gladly accepts the gift. Right then, a giant water spider lord leaps out of the lake, catching the girl totally off guard. Getting pushed back by the impact, the system pops up saying their official party has been formed. Wasting no time, the kid charges in and hits a vital strike, chunking it for 52 HP. Right after that, Yao doesn't just stand there, firing off her holy judgment spell, blasting the spider dead on with light magic and dealing a solid 70 points of damage. Dodging a direct hit, he yells at the mage to fall back immediately, pulling the beast's aggro so he can create a safe opening for her to attack from a distance. Firing his crossbow, he buries a bunch of bolts into the boss and drains even more of its health. Taking full advantage, the girl casts her absolute best holy skills back to back, hitting the target once again and shaving off another massive chunk of its HP, which is more than enough to finish off the Spider Lord, dropping it dead right on the spot. Taking a deep breath, the mage thinks it's kinda crazy how easy that fight was and how perfectly in sync they were. Noticing his ally looking deep in thought, our MC asks if everything's okay with her. Changing the subject, she asks why such a pro player runs solo, and he just says he prefers it that way. Seeing her chance, the girl immediately invites him to help her squad over in the Dryad forest. Weighing the invite, he asks about her team's tank stats to gauge how risky this is gonna be. Being super direct, she tells him their warriors are rocking 53 defense in total. He warns her that's not gonna cut it, since the dungeon boss basically requires 60 armor to survive, totally dropping her jaw at these boss details that literally nobody else on the server knew about yet. But since her group is locked in on this, they gotta hit that defense cap no matter what. Smiling confidently, he tells her there's another way and offers to lead the run himself. A bit hesitant about convincing her captain to bring in a total random, she still promises to give it a shot. Cutting the chatter short, the kid points her attention to the loot the boss just dropped. Checking the drop, he reveals a bronze tier silk gauntlet that's just perfect for mages. Without thinking twice, he hands the rare item right over to the girl, who gets a bit flustered. To chill her out, he shows her the rare silk and the assassinate skill book he kept for himself. Feeling way better about it, the mage gladly accepts the gift without any more fuss. Right then the system chimes, warning them that the server is shutting down in 3 minutes. Racing against the clock, she says her goodbyes to her MC and gets ready to safely log off. Waving bye to his new ally, he also wraps up his hardcore grind session on a seriously high note. Snapping back to the real world, the kid takes off his helmet and realizes it's already morning. Slipping on his shoes, he knows leveling up in the game is key, but his actual body needs some serious training too. Remembering that his nemesis Tao Shu rolls deep with goons, he knows he definitely can't afford to fall behind. Shortly after, our MC is out jogging through the city streets, totally focused on his workout. But out of nowhere, an out-of-control truck comes barreling straight toward this random girl. Without hesitating, he dives in and shoves her out of the way, taking the hit and rolling across the asphalt. Getting up in pain, he hears the woman calling out his name and asking if he's okay. Taking a better look, the kid can't even believe it when he realizes he just saved Xie Yao of all people. Helping our MC back to his feet, she starts scolding him as soon as she sees his arm bleeding. While she goes to grab a bandage, the kid is left completely trapped in the memories of his biggest regret, remembering exactly how much she suffered in his past life, all thanks to Tao Xu's mob. Snapping back to reality, Xie Yao gently bandages his arm and tells him to be more careful. Just staring at her, the kid gives this really genuine smile, leaving the girl totally flustered. Joking around, he tells her that he's got her to take care of him now, straight up thinking she's super cute. Getting all flustered, Xie Yao quickly changes the subject, says her goodbyes, and drives off in her car. While driving, she even starts wondering if he's actually Nirvana Flame, since he's acting way more confident lately. Watching her leave, our boy just smiles, but quickly shifts his focus back to getting strong so he can wreck Tao Xu's plans. Right then, his phone starts ringing with a call from his boy Tang Yao. Yelling through the speaker, his buddy demands to know where the hell he's been hiding and tells him to meet up right now. Super relieved to hear his voice, our MC remembers just how much his friend helped him out in his past life. Knowing the tragic end he met back then, he swears that this time around, he's gonna save his life. The second he shows up, Tang Yao grabs him by the shoulder, getting all hyped. He immediately asks if he's been playing the game, and the kid lets him know he's already a level 2 thief. Totally shocked by his progress, his buddy drags him over to the duel arena, totally flexing his level 3 account. It's basically a lounge where people can run some PvP with their avatars without losing any in-game items. And of course, there's a ton of betting going on, which Tang Yao absolutely loves, even though he's always taking an L. Soon as they walk in, his rival Wei Kai starts talking trash, joking that his personal ATM just walked through the door. Spotting our MC, the preppy rich kid starts mocking him, asking if he's looking to get his butt kicked all over again. Pulling his friend aside, Tang Yao tells him to just chill, acting like his personal bodyguard. Seeing how calm the kid is, the rival seriously wonders where all this new confidence came from. Wasting no time, Tang Yao fires up the duel, betting $200 right out the gate. Everyone's eyes are glued to the screen, showing his friend's level 3 mage going up against the rival berserker. Watching closely, our MC knows damn well that the enemy's class is a total nightmare for a mage to fight. The fight kicks off in an arena that's completely flat and wide open. Analyzing the map, our MC realizes there's nowhere to kite, meaning his buddy is about to get absolutely wrecked. Right then, another player walks up talking smack and challenges our boy to a quick one-on-one. Accepting on the spot, he warns the guy he's only playing one match and won't bother with any chump change bets. Getting super triggered by his cocky attitude, the guy bets everything he's got, slamming $700 on the table. Up on the screen, our MC's thief squares off against the ranger Shi Feng, both sitting at level 2. They drop into a bamboo forest map, which immediately brings a smirk to our boy's face. While the rival tries to talk more trash, our MC wastes zero time and instantly pops his stealth skill, turning completely invisible right in the middle of the dense bushes. Thinking he's just scared, the ranger rushes forward, calling the kid a straight-up coward. Except he can't find his target anywhere, ending up completely clueless as he tries to hunt him down. Hiding way up high, our MC uses his 10 years of gaming experience to completely wipe out any trace of his tracks. With a perfect ambush, he drops down from above and catches the ranger totally lacking, nailing the first strike for 40 damage, leaving his target with only 70 HP left. Freaking out, the rival spins around, having no idea where the hit even came from, but it's already too late. With an ice-cold look in his eyes, the kid just whispers that playtime is over, chaining it straight into his best move, the infamous Vital Strike, landing a brutal kick for 70 damage that completely zeroes out the poor guy's health bar on the spot, scoring an instant KO as the enemy's body just fades away into pixels, leaving the whole crowd completely speechless, having no idea how the fight ended so damn fast. Smiling casually, our MC actually feels a bit bad for totally stomping a new branger like that. Meanwhile, the loser heads back to his seat, completely shocked at how he just got clapped that easily. Watching from a distance, Wei Kai notices the kid's crazy skills and thinks the sudden glow-up is super weird. Remembering him as the scared kid who used to just take the bullying, he can hardly believe what he just witnessed. Going to check on his buddy, he finds out Tang Yao lost twice and is now in the hole for $1,200. Complaining that the rich kid used an anti-magic aura that basically made his entire class useless. But our NC tells him the aura isn't even that broken, and that his buddy just totally messed up his spell timing. Thinking it's super weird he knows all these deep tactics, his buddy asks where the hell he learned that stuff. Completely ignoring the question, he just tosses his winnings right into his friend's hands, leaving him stunned. Right as a moment, Wei Kai's crew rolls up on them, and one of his goons is already looking to start something. Stepping up all furious, the bully promises to teach him a lesson for taking their money, trying to throw a punch right after, but Ni Yan easily blocks it, grabbing the dude's wrist tight. And with one lightning-fast move, our MC twists the guy's arm and slams him straight to the floor. Flashing an icy glare, he remembers how much he trained in his past life just to deal with Chao Shu's goons. Seeing this, Tang Yao's jaw literally drops, wondering when his friend became such a badass. Watching him get dropped, the rest of the henchmen are too scared to step up, getting called cowards by their boss. Staring the kid down, Wei Kai realizes he's like a completely different person now. Then, that blue-haired rich kid steps up, trying to get payback for his boy getting slammed. Crossing his arms, Ni Yan just smirks, saying he was only playing around with a weakling. Challenging our MC to a duel, the rich kid gets told it's only happening if the stakes are high. Flexing his cash, the rival offers 1,000 per round, but Tang Yao argues it's completely unfair because of the level gap. Totally ignoring his friend, Ni Yan holds up 3 fingers, bumping the bet to 3,000 a round. Super confident, the rich kid accepts on the spot, thinking there's no way a level 2 thief can actually win. Panicking, Tang Yao grabs his buddy and asks if he's totally lost his mind betting that kind of cash. Playing it cool, he asks to borrow the money. Tang Yao curses him out, but still decides to back him up. The match kicks off on the screen, showing his thief facing down the blue-haired berserker. Loading into a plains arena, the fight is set in this massive open field covered in tall grass. Looking worried, Tang Yao points out that this map is absolute trash for a thief trying to hide. Talking smack, the berserker offers to switch maps, but Ni Yan tells him it's really not necessary. Staying completely focused, our MC pops his stealth, getting ready to vanish. Sprinting through the grass, he turns into a blur and completely disappears from sight. Getting super annoyed, his rival starts looking everywhere, trying to figure out where the hell he went. But the berserker realizes the moving grass could give the kid away, planning to use that straight to his advantage. Using a wind skill, he blasts the whole field to try and spot any movement in the grass. Only problem is, the wind starts blowing way too hard, and he realizes he completely lost the kid's trail. Getting frustrated, the big guy just starts spinning his sword, cutting down the grass, hoping to hit literally anything. Actually impressed, the rival notices the thief is using the grass itself straight against him. Staying perfectly hidden, our MC decides to just wait for the next gust of wind before making his move. Getting into stance, the berserker figures the kid is just moving super slow right in front of him, until another heavy gust of wind rolls through, shaking up the grass across the entire arena. And right at that moment, Ni Yan pops up from behind and strikes, chunking him for 35 HP. Panicking, the rich kid tries to swing back, but our MC already backsteps to dodge the counter. Pissed off, the enemy pops his whirlwind slash, spinning his giant sword for a massive area attack. Already expecting that exact move, Ni Yan knows that skill leaves the user super sluggish right at the end. Feeling confident in his spin, the berserker thinks he's got this in the bag, having no clue his rival is thinking the exact same thing. The second the attack ends and his sword slams into the dirt, Ni Yan sees the perfect opening. Capitalizing on that delay and the wind dying down, he rushes forward, completely silent through the grass. Popping his vital strike, he flashes like a red blur right next to the paralyzed dude, absolutely shocking the crowd. Someone asks how his activation timing could possibly be that perfect. Landing a clean hit, the strike deals a massive 96 damage, making the rich kid scream out. Left with only 34 HP, he totally panics and starts charging up a flaming slash. Gripping his flaming sword, he goes for one last desperate swing at our boy, cutting to a quick studio ad showing off a bunch of other series you can binge this weekend. Even shouting out Ni Yan's very own story, Rebirth of the Thief Who Roamed the World, wrapping up with another reminder about weekend updates and a ton of special events. Seeing that attack coming in hot, Tang Yao screams at his buddy to get out of the way immediately. But Ni Yan stays locked in on the melee combat and decides not to back down since his HP is still looking good. Choosing to just tank the flaming slash straight to the face, he takes 56 damage. Getting super salty that he actually survived the hit, the berserker calls the kid a cocky brat. Right after that, chaining another skill into his sword, he fires off a linear slash. Charging forward, the glowing red blade slices right through the air, heading straight for our boy. Totally freaking out, Tang Yao yells that this attack deals a stun and could be game over. But at the very last second, he leans to the side and totally dodges the point-blank strike. Gripping his dagger, he notices that the charge's hitbox is actually smaller than his weapon's reach. Jumping right into that opening, our MC rushes in hard, aiming straight for his opponent. And, with a brutal clash, his dagger lands a clean hit, knocking the berserker straight back from the impact. Hitting the dirt totally defeated, the rich kid's health bar instantly drops to 0. Taking 40 damage from the backlash, Nian figures a win is still a win. Looking dead serious and rocking a few scratches, the victory screen pops up to make it official. Barely believing he actually pulled it off, the goons are completely mind-blown by the kid's crazy game sense. Spawning back in the duel lounge, the preppy kid rips his helmet off in absolute disbelief. Running up all hyped, Tang Yao praises the impossible win, but Nian just plays it off as pure luck. Hugging his buddy, he begs him to teach him how to play mage, and our MC agrees right on the spot. Seeing the losers trying to bounce, Tang Yao yells at the young master to cough up that bet money. Turning back to them, Wei Kai says he always honors his bets and even invites the boys out to his bar. Turning his back right after, he signals his crew to just pack it up and leave. When one of his goons questions it, the boss explains it's way better not to have this rookie as an enemy. Celebrating the massive payday, Tang Yao treats him to dinner and the two agree to link up in-game later. Cutting straight to nighttime, the scene shows the outside of his apartment building. Already back in his room, our MC kicks things off with a quick set of crunches. Flipping over, he goes all out on a heavy set of push-ups too. Wrapping up his workout with energy to spare, he figures it's time to finally log back into conviction. Grabbing his VR helmet, he remembers he promised to run that dungeon with Cha Cha's squad. Spawning right next to a river in-game, a notification instantly pops up on his screen. Getting a message from Flying Stone with his payment, the guy's already asking for a guide to another swamp area. Accepting his buddy Tang Yao's friend request, he decides to focus on the dungeon run instead of just selling guides all day. For now though, his main priority is turning in that secret quest he's been sitting on. Walking up to Dr. Blevins, our boy confirms he's already gathered 31 threads. Thanking him for the hard work, the NPC hands back the items and decides to teach him a brand new skill. Learning combat bandage, he notices the quest progress is only sitting at 20%. Finding that super weird, he quickly realizes this gotta be one of those massive chain quests. Confirming his theory, Blevins asks for even more silk threads, and our MC accepts without breaking a sweat. Right after that, another notification chimes straight onto his interface. It's a girl calling him by his username, letting him know the whole squad is already grouped up. Replying that he's on his way, he teleports straight to the city, totally locked in on farming this dungeon. Waiting impatiently at the meetup spot, Tang Yao wonders where the hell his buddy wandered off to. Sneaking up on him, Ni Yan greets his partner and lets him know the main target is the Dryad King. Right then, Tang Yao notices a group of players walking up to them in the middle of the plaza. Calling out our MC's username, Yulan and another girl start waving from the crowd. Totally blown away by how pretty the girls are, his buddy whispers asking how he knows them. Walking up, the pink-haired girl begs him not to embarrass her in front of the whole squad. Watching closely from the back, a thief named Chen Bo is glaring at everything looking super suspicious. Checking the kid out up close, Yulan asks if he's actually the thief who's going to be guiding their run. Answering with absolute confidence, he promises he can get them the clear, but only on one condition, making it straight up clear that he's going to be the party leader and everyone has to follow his calls to the letter. Complaining right away, Chen Bo heavily doubts this rookie won't just drag the whole party down. Calling the guy out for throwing a tantrum, Yulan takes our MC's side, which just pisses Chen Bo off even more. Apologizing for her annoying teammate, she tells Nian to go ahead and fire up the party invite. Laying down the law, he warns them he won't show any mercy to anyone trying to sabotage the run. And with that, a system notification instantly pops up confirming the party is formed. Right after, a bunch of players start joining up, including the guild leader Yulan and Yao. Crossing her arms, the leader lays it down that anyone who doesn't follow our MC's calls is getting kicked on the spot. Looking super salty, Chen Bo ends up sucking it up and finally joins the party too. Stepping up to the plate, our rookie claims that if he messes up as leader, he'll personally pay out 10 silver to every single member. Hearing that insane bet, the whole squad is straight up shook by how much cash he's throwing on the line. Noticing his crazy confidence, Yulan whispers to Cha-Cha, who totally brags that she knew he was built different. Taking the reins, the leader asks everyone to drop their stats in the chat, starting with their main tank. Introducing himself as Plain Water, he reveals he's rocking 230 HP with some solid defense. After that, the rest of the crew slowly starts listing off their stats, but a player named Pumpkin hesitates. Without missing a beat, Ni Yan orders the tank to go buy a speed potion, while telling Pumpkin to grab a strength one. Getting super confused by the extra spending, they're afraid of completely wasting dozens of copper coins. Jumping at the chance to complain, Chen Bo mutters that anyone could get a clear if they just spam potions. But Tang Yao isn't having it, and flat out asks if the hater is too broke to pitch in for the run. Getting instantly furious, the guy steps up but just gets called a cheapskate. Right then, Cha-Cha questions why they need so much prep until our boy finally drops the bomb that they're running expert mode. Thinking it over for a second, the leader decides to trust him and orders everyone to go buy their items. Wrapping up their shopping trip fast, Ni-Yan announces that the squad is officially ready to roll. Pulling up to the dungeon entrance right after, they spot a giant stone monolith sitting in the middle. Telling the crew to hold up for a sec, the leader walks over to activate the instance. The second he touches the stone, a prompt pops up about a magical whistle waking up ancient spirits. And the text even throws out a warning about dark elves in the area until he finally boots up the run. Instantly opening the menu, the interface shows off the 5 different difficulty options. Skipping the small talk, our MC just clicks straight on expert mode without breaking a sweat. With a massive flash of light, the whole squad gets teleported right into the map, while system notifications pop up confirming they've entered the expert mode forest. Totally panicking, the party asks if it was a misclick, thinking there's 0 chance they clear this. But Yulon shuts down that idea, realizing he had this exact run planned out from the start. Freaking out again, Chenbo accuses the kid of straight up sabotaging them just to drain their XP. Staying ice cold, Ni-Yan says he knows exactly how to win and tells the hater to just leave if he's gonna cry about it. Stepping up, Yao defends the boy, reminding everyone that she was the one who personally invited him. Backing down immediately, the salty thief claims his beef isn't with the healer. Seething with rage on the inside, he seriously doesn't get why she's defending some random dude. Explaining it's super chill, the leader points out that the mobs just have a little extra HP, plus a different boss at the end. Still doubting him, the blonde girl knows that even one tiny mistake here means instant wipe, making his confidence super weird. Feeling the tension, she asks if he's absolutely sure about this, only to get a cocky smile right back. Glaring from a distance, Shinbo just wants a front row seat to watch this rookie totally embarrass himself in expert mode. Pushing through the super dark and dense forest, they can feel the creepy vibe of the map weighing them down, until a bunch of vines suddenly sprout from the ground, and Ni-Yan screams for everyone to scatter right now. But useless Chenbo just stands there frozen in fear as the vines shoot straight for him. In a split second, the vines wrap completely around the guy's body, locking him down hard, then violently slamming his body straight into the dirt, kicking up a massive cloud of dust. Spawning right out of nowhere, a demonic tree-faced Dryad pops up, glaring down the entire party. Still trapped in the plant's death grip, the salty thief starts getting crushed alive with 0 mercy. Going into full-blown panic mode, he screams for help, begging the captain to save his life. Seeing the guy crying in the monster's grip, the rest of the party gets into formation to fight. Acting fast, Ni-Yan sends the tanks to the right and calls for heavy focus fire from the mages. Listening to the call, a warrior charges right in and tanks the massive branch straight on his shield. Right behind him, another fighter chains a heavy attack, slicing straight through the monster's wood. And to cap off the combo, a huge barrage of magic rains down, blasting the monster from every single angle. Causing an absolute massive explosion, the mage's raw damage obliterates the Dryad instantly. Crashing hard into the ground, the jealous guy face plants right after the plant goes down. Jumping up super pissed, he straight up accuses our boy of keeping quiet about the Dryads on purpose. Clapping right back, Ni-Yan points out that even the tank managed to dodge, but the thief couldn't. Jumping into the beef, Tang Yao completely roasts the guy, calling his skills straight up trash. Right then, Yulon tells everyone to chill and asks the guy if he hasn't embarrassed himself enough already. Cutting the drama short, Ni-Yan warns them about the traps and says he's gonna teach this dude how to actually play. Moving out again, the squad pushes deeper into the thick, creepy forest. With the new kid leading the charge, everyone runs super carefully through the trees, until he yells out a warning just as a massive log comes flying right at the group. Dodging it like a pro, he uses the momentum to completely disarm a hidden trap on the ground. Keeping up the pace, our boy perfectly sidesteps a bunch of darts shooting right at him, spotting a net rigged up in the trees dead ahead, just waiting to catch somebody. Whipping out his dagger without even slowing down, he slices the whole trap to pieces before it gets him. Watching this with their jaws on the floor, the crew can't even believe he's this insane at playing a thief. Totally blown away, Yuan praises his agility while the salty guy just mutters to himself. Refusing to be shown up, the annoying dude sprints ahead, bragging that he could do that easily too. But literally on his first step, he steps right on a hidden pressure plate. The ground gives out instantly, sending the guy plummeting into a pit full of spikes. Looking down in pure panic, he realizes he's completely cooked. But right at the last second, a hand grabs his arm super hard, totally saving his life. Yanking the guy back up, our leader chucks the useless dude onto the dirt, far away from the trap. trap. Staring him down ice cold, Ni Yan straight up says he's never seen a worse thief in his entire life. Jumping back up, the ungrateful jerk accuses our boy of setting the trap on purpose. Losing his mind with rage, Tang Yao calls him out for being ungrateful, reminding him that he literally just got saved. Keeping totally chill, the MC rubs it in his face that the area wasn't clear yet and he just has zero skill. Foaming at the mouth with rage, the thief pulls out his dagger and challenges our hero to a deathmatch. Charging in without even waiting for an answer, he screams his lungs out saying he's gonna kill him. Blocking the attack with just his fingers, Ni Yan mocks him and tells him he better go get some backup, leaving the jealous guy completely stunned and totally speechless. Stepping in, the girls tell the dude to stop blaming the guy who literally just saved his life. Sticking to his lies, he doubles down on the accusation and can't figure out why they're defending the new kid. Even the tank steps in, telling him to shut his mouth because their leader did absolutely nothing wrong. Seeing the whole squad turn on him, he laughs out loud, sarcastically asking how they plan on beating the dungeon now. Turning his back right after, the system pops up saying the useless guy straight up dipped from the party. Apologizing for all the drama, Cha-Cha hears the MC say they're actually way better off without him anyway. Thinking it over in silence, Ni Yan decides he's gonna build his own squad for his next dungeon runs. Changing the subject, the leader asks for total focus, since their main goal is still to clear this dungeon. Half an hour later, they stumble onto 18 Dryads, and our boy lets them know he's already scoped out the whole area. Getting super stressed over that number, she finally calms down when he says they won't be fighting them all at once. Stepping to the front of the group right then, he gets ready to put his crazy plan into action. Sprinting completely alone toward the monsters, the kid leaves the whole squad super confused. He whips an item out of his inventory that looks like a little glowing blue obelisk. Smirking, he tells him he's gonna show off some god-tier monster pulling. Whipping out his crossbow right after, the kid unloads a ton of bolts in a single burst, sending the projectiles flying all over the forest, scattering in every single direction. Panicking all over again, the crew thinks his hand slipped and they're all gonna die. Totally ignoring their freakout, he orders the tank to a specific spot and the guy just blindly obeys. And right on cue, the bolts hit their marks, waking up a few specific Dryads in the middle of the pack. Breaking off from the main horde, the aggroed creatures start rushing straight at them, leaving the leader with her jaw on the floor at this legendary 3-point pull. Completely shocked, the leader asks how he managed to separate 18 monsters that were stacked so close together. Right then, Cha-Cha realizes that if they'd had him from the start, the squad's win rate would skyrocket. And just like that, 2 of the beasts they pulled start charging right at the party. Taking charge, our boy orders the tank to hold off one, while everyone else focuses down the other. Jumping straight into the fight, he leads the crazy charge against the first monster. Meanwhile, Plainwater blocks the second monster, super relieved to see the plan actually worked. Wrapping up the first threat super fast, the leader yells out that they're on their way to help the tank. Rushing in hard, the blonde lands a massive blow dead center on the beast the tank was holding. It lands as an absolutely insane crit, dropping the creature right on the spot with a single hit. And the second a beast goes down, a glow pops up on the ground and the crew hypes up the gear drop. Snagging the bronze tier mage gloves, the leader points out that this kind of loot only drops in expert mode. Walking up to our boy, Cha-Cha asks how he pulled such an insane play out of thin air. Smiling, he reminds her he promised to carry the team, telling them to just run the exact same strat for the rest. Sticking to the game plan, the squad pulls more monsters way far out from the main pack. Not skipping a beat, they keep the hunt going, picking off the enemies one by one, and under the new kid's genius shot calling, the whole squad fights in absolute perfect sync. 20 minutes later, the whole zone is totally cleared out, bagging them way better loot than they even expected. Watching everything from a distance, the salty thief is just boiling with rage while hiding in the trees. Standing up super hyped with the results, Neon hits them with that completely satisfied smile, warning them that clearing this area was just the start. He promises that the loot is only gonna get crazier from here. Giving the squad a super quick breather, he leads everyone down a brand new pass nearby. Thinking the route west feels kinda sketchy, the leader gets talked into just following the kid and trusting the process. Pushing through the pitch-black trail, the whole squad marches right on our boy's heels, until the sound of a flute completely cuts through the silence, making our leader whisper that he found his target. Spotting an old dude at the top of a hill, the MC confirms he's the Dryad Shepherd. The system flags the guy as a guardian NPC, literally called the Nameless Man. Flashing back to to the past, we see that under his watch, humans and monsters were totally living in peace. But the second some sketchy dark elves showed up, the beasts absolutely lost their minds and started a bloodbath, which is the exact reason the council recruited warriors in the first place, giving us the whole lore for this dungeon. Looking down at the group, the old man tells everyone to run for it, warning them how deadly the Dryads are at night. Stepping up with total respect, Niyan lets him know they're here to wipe this evil straight off the map. Snapping back with pure hate, the old guy says it's all because of the flute thieves who are probably laughing at them right now, leaving the girls totally stunned by this secret quest. Not even Sha knows who the heck the MC really is anymore. Foaming at the mouth in the shadows, the salty guy is just wondering how the kid got this insanely overpowered. Nodding at the old man, our boy says the light is gonna punish whoever caused all this chaos. Completely mind-blown that they know about it, the elder curses the two dark elves who jacked his flute. Handing over some glowing powder, he gives them the quest to take out the duo and get his flute back. This revealing powder being an item that instantly breaks the stealth of anyone in the area. Turning back to the squad with the key item in hand, he just tells everyone to stay right on his tail. Grabbing a vine along the way, he wastes zero time and starts scaling a massive stone wall, climbing up that cliff like an absolute monkey, proving he's got the game's movement mechanics mastered. Once they reach the top, the leader asks if he can actually track down those elves in the pitch black. Moving across a super narrow trail, the squad pushes forward with nothing but this crazy tense moonlight lighting the way. Stopping everyone in the perfect spot, he lets them know those two dark elves are walking straight into an ambush. Totally lost, the healer asks how he can be so sure about where those guys are hiding. Getting a massive jump scare, the girl looks over her shoulder, completely freezing up at his answer, and with that cocky smirk, the MC drops the bomb that the invaders are basically glued to their backs right now. Explaining that this duo is super jumpy, he tells them their strike has got to be absolutely perfect and lethal. Right then, a super stealthy shadow slides across the background, watching the squad up close. And as they make their way through the canyon, the dark elf duo is totally spying on the group from the top of the cliff. Smirking, the kid crushes the powder in his hand, hyping up the fact that the intruders totally took the bait. Spreading through the air, the dust completely exposes the duo hiding down below, giving them a massive jump scare. Tearing off their disguise by force, the creatures turn out to be these little pointy-eared dudes. Right then, one of the elves screams at his partner to run, trying to straight up book it out of there. But the squad was already waiting in the shadows, completely cutting off the duo's escape route. Going full aggro, one of the elves roars and jumps straight at the armored player. But the two players hold the line head-on, blocking the strike right away with their weapons. Right after that, one of them flashes a smirk and starts charging up a fire spell. Blasting it at full power, the attack hits the elf dead center, totally engulfing the little freak in flames. Seeing the brawl break out, the leader yells for backup, rushing in with the tank to give them some support. Surrounding the duo, Niyan orders everyone to wipe them out, letting them know the flute is right there. Closing the gap in the blink of an eye, the kid lands a super fast strike on his target. Spinning in midair, he lands a flawless slash on the creature, leaving it with zero time to even react. Hitting dead on, the critical strike completely chunks 50 health points right off the enemy. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad focuses down the other elf, dropping the guy with a massive heavy attack. Turning to pure dust on the ground, the enemies vanish, and the MC hypes up snagging the drop. Grabbing that infamous flute that debuffs the Dryads by half, he basically secures their win right there. Breaking the silence, Chad Chow yells out to our boy, calling him over to check out a brand new drop. Showing off some old document, the kid immediately asks if that thing is a letter. Detailing the tribe's attack plans, the paper instantly triggers a brand new side quest. Since nobody understands the Alvan language, they figure the main focus right now is just clearing out the dungeon. Getting the whole squad super hyped, everyone starts daydreaming about that sweet bonus loot. Handing the flute over to the main tank, the guy celebrates getting a solid 300 extra HP. With everything locked in, the leader gives the signal to push forward and the whole squad follows with zero hesitation. Watching closely, Tang Yao is totally blown away by how much the squad actually respects his buddy now. Flashing this super proud smile, he thinks to himself that he expected nothing less from his absolute bro. Pushing deeper into the woods, a massive tree monster steps right out of the shadows to attack them. Jumping straight into combat, the squad faces down a bunch of creatures with spells just flying everywhere. Suddenly, a massive wooden tentacle comes slamming down, making everyone scatter in a split second. Blocking the hit with his new bronze round shield, the tank is absolutely mind-blown by its crazy defense. Walking up looking a little awkward, Cha-Cha asks if she can straight up buy that item for her own guild. Being super chill about it, Mi-Yan just hands over the shield, since he only cares about thief gear anyway. thanking him for the huge solid. The healer apologizes for being a bother and gets a smile right back. Right at that exact moment, the ground starts shaking like crazy, with massive roots just ripping up the dirt everywhere, making the ground violently explode. Someone screams for everyone to stay on their toes. Gripping the flute, our leader warns them that the boss has finally arrived, ordering the tanks straight to the front line, revealing the Dryad King, this massive level 4 lord with a literal sword stuck in his trunk. Roaring with pure hate, the beast curses out the humans, completely pissed off that they invaded his turf. Screaming threats, the monster swings a massive wooden arm at them, forcing everyone to dodge out of the way. Dodging with pure agility, our boy barely scrapes by that completely crushing attack. Hitting a slick backflip, he totally dodges the impact and lands completely safe, leaving the squad in absolute shock seeing a level 2 thief face-tanking a lord this easily. Taking full control, he orders the tank to push up and tells the mages to stay exactly 30 yards back. Obeying instantly, the tank attacks, but barely does any damage and straight up complains about its absurd defense. Realizing the problem, Ni Yan yells out with complete focus, calling the mages into action. Giving the order to fire, the casters unleash their spells without thinking twice, bombarding the Dryad King with absolutely zero mercy. A storm of magic rains down from all sides. And don't forget to smash that like button if you want the next part.